Okay, the first step today is to cut a mock-up out of cardboard for the tank. The first measurement I have here is how wide it's going to be, and if we look down and zoom in, we can see this is about 10.5 inches wide. I'm going to cut it 11 inches wide just to allow myself a little extra room, because I'm going to move this for a second. And I still have the tube mounted on the plastic. We'll zoom out a little bit. I still have the tube mounted on the plastic lid from my original little tank I bought at Home Depot, the reservoir I bought there. So from here to here is a little more than 10 inches, not quite 11 inches. And as you can see from the sides and so forth, the tube will fit inside that dimension. So as long as I stay about 10 3/4 inches, I'll be good. So that's what I'm going to do first, is just cut out the parts, and then we'll go from there. And the width, we can see, if we zoom in a little bit, we can see the width is about 13, should give me plenty of room to create the opening in the back, around the back, for the water tube that's got to run up and run across here to feed water into the material. So 13 inches looks like it's good. So I'm going to cut a rectangular shape, 10 3/4 by 13. That should work. So here we have the bottom and the top of the tank. Now it's time to cut the sides. Now it's not real important how deep this is, mainly because I can adjust the depth, because the top and the bottom will fit inside the sides. So I can locate the top of this so that the top of the tube just clears the headliner inside. The important thing here is to have enough material to create a little shoulder on the side so that water doesn't run over the edge and out into the roof of the van, but that I can contain the water and keep it inside. So that's what I'm going to look for here. I'm going to look at the size of this scrap piece of material, and it's roughly 5 inches. So I think that's what I'm going to use, is a piece 5 inches high, and then position the top of the tank in here so that the top of the tube clears the headliner inside the van. Should be fairly easy. Now for the sides of the box, I'm going to want each leg to overlap the thickness of the material, so that each leg is the same length. And as I put them together, they will go together like this. Each corner will be overlapped one of the other sides, and then one side will be in, one will be out. All the side pieces will be the same length in terms of two sides will be the long sides, and two sides will be the long side, and two sides will be the short side, but each one will be the same length. and they'll have just that little bit of overlap. So in order to create that overlap and determine the length, I just put a piece of material up on top and bump the leg behind it, and there I've got an overlap joint. And then back here I just mark it, and that'll make it easy for me to measure how long to cut these individual sides. So as you can see, we've created a little overlap here and here so that when these sit up, they will, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but they'll overlap, making for a good, strong, solid joint that that we can seal easily. And there's no problem with these joining up with each other because they're long enough to do so. So that's it for that part. I'll continue to cut the legs off, and then we're going to assemble the parts. Well, I laid this out so hopefully you can see the method to my madness. Each corner overlaps the other corner, and that will create one, strong corners, but it'll create an easy way to fill and seal the inside of this so it doesn't leak any water. And it's a very simple box method of making any kind of a box. You can use it for all kinds of things. Works real good. That's it. On we go. So now we're going to assemble the sides and actually create a box out of this cutout. Okay, so I'm kind of holding the cardboard together, and I'm using this square behind me as a way of keeping the sides vertical. Now I'm just going to hot glue the part into place. Once we get two sides tacked up in place, it's fairly simple to just go all the way around and complete the box. At least the sides and the bottom of the box. Fitting the piece in the interior is going to be a little more it's going to involve some measurements to make sure it's at the right height so it clears the headliner in the back of the van, but for the moment I'm just going to continue building this box. So here's the finished box. I just put the top on it for grins, just to check and see if it's square. Oops, and it looks like it's pretty doggone square. Good enough for this. There will be reinforcing joints inside that'll hold the top down, that'll get screwed down and seal the top to the rest of the box, and they'll be inside the box, just held. The top of the box will be held down with some screws, and I have to, of course, in the final finished version, I have to build baffles inside. I'm not doing that with this because I can't test it with water, so it really wouldn't make any sense to prototype baffles if I can't test and use them. So anyway, we have the base. Now I'm going to unscrew the tube from the little plastic container I had and fit it in here and see how everything fits and looks inside of here. Well, everything fits. It looks like I got my dimensions right, and I have a little room back here, about an inch or so, for the tubing and stuff to come up that I'm going to need to have plumbed into the sides to keep the sides saturated. So that little box mock-up is going to work just fine, I think.